For me, the most important things are diversity, access, inclusive, creating in general inclusive places for everyone, and really putting the cultural aspects in the center, and not so much maybe the short-term economic gain. And by cultural, I mean also social, psychological, everything that is really centered around the people living in the place, and really creating places that are enriching the livelihood. The key point is to really take the time in the beginning of the process, and to take the time to cooperate and network with as many people as possible. And by that I mean to create maybe interdisciplinary teams to really address on a professional level everything that is necessary to create a sustainable and sustainable place or a living environment of quality, but also to cooperate with the locals there, maybe the locals who are already living there, or maybe if this is a completely new development, maybe future locals who could imagine going there at some point. And all, like having all these processes that that engage with a lot of people, for me seems the most successful way to get to a living environment of quality. All of that is time-consuming mostly, and maybe complicated, but also very enriching, and I think really leading to better places. It's interesting to have competitions where you, for example, you need to be interdisciplinary on a professional level. Just to have a group of people on a community level that are, or on a city level, that are professionals, mostly architects, and who are not involved economically or politically in projects, but who can, from an external point of view, review projects and tell their opinions. I really like standards personally, so I'm not dismissing them at all, but I think informal tools are a very great way to be more creative maybe in your process, and also to engage in cooperation and education, to reach maybe more the people, and I think it's, and I think also for, like I'm from the public sector, but in general for everyone it's probably the best to use both of these informal and formal tools in a way that they interconnect and that they help each other. If you have a network or a community, you can more or less easily address the person responsible for one particular project and ask them, how did you do it, what were your challenges, and so on. And also it's, I think it's always nice to think outside of your bubble or your box, and get more insights from outside. It can only help, in my opinion. I strongly believe that the local components are very important, so probably you can't transport it like one-to-one to another place. Still, I think that maybe the political structures are maybe similar throughout Europe, so you can still have some access points, and then you probably will need to adapt the details. The idea of Baukultur is, for me, I think it's very beautiful because it's really englobing everything that people are doing to shape their living environment, and it's basically saying that everything we do is important because in the end it shapes us also. It's not saying how we achieve quality, but it says we want quality, we want the human being, and we want cultural aspects. And this, I think, you can really transport more or less globally. But then this is more like the framework or the general idea that we want, and how like the concrete I don't know, housing development will be in Germany or somewhere. This is a completely, there you have to go more into detail, and this is more like the idea that you have to keep in mind.